How's it going, everybody? It is episode 89 here on Hawaii Football Now. Jordan Haley, Hunter Hughes back with you. As always, big thanks to Spectrum Mobile and Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union for sponsoring our podcast here as we are powering through the month of May, already into the second week. We record this on Wednesday, May 10th at about 10 a.m. Hawaii time. Set to release that 10:30 a.m. Hawaii time, set to release this as usual on Thursday midday. It is busy time. Got to give a shout out to our guy Jonathan, who's usually producing our pods. The dude was all over the place providing content. You can catch all of his stuff on the ESPN Honolulu platforms, social media, and the like. Covering all the state tournaments. Last week was bananas with all the state high school tournaments, as well as the University of Hawaii volleyball team making their run all the way to the national championship game. More on that in just a second. But for our quick opening drive here, we did want to welcome Hawaii linebacker Logan Taylor to the pod. We've got Logan coming up in just a little bit. We'll get to him in the second half of today's pod. Excited to get him on. I think a fan favorite, has worked his way, has kind of grinded his way into a very prominent role for the University of Hawaii. Got a chance to start last season after some injuries, and boy, he did not let that go to squander. The dude absolutely balled out, and excited for him coming into this next season, as we'll get a chance to talk to him in just a little bit. But Logan, a guy, Hunter, that I think kind of embodies where this program wants to go, right? Getting some of these hidden gems and turning them into very, very productive football players.
Yeah, I think Logan, to me, epitomizes more than just a player. It's kind of that warrior ethos that we've talked about at length on this show. Kind of the next man up mentality. I mean, he wasn't looked to as a starter really at all until midway through this past season. They didn't really even look to him as a contributor until a few guys started to go down. And then all of a sudden, we got this guy, Logan Taylor, in there who's leading our team in tackles. Why didn't we put him in here earlier? And so it kind of speaks to that that underdog mentality that, hey, I'm going to put the team on my back and do whatever I can to help us win. I don't need to have the pedigree of a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star in front of my name to give merit or give value to my team. And Logan, I think, embodies all of that. He's unquestionably one of the leaders and probably one of the heart and soul guys of our team right now. So it's good to have him on Hawaii Football Now for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt, and looking forward to that conversation in just a little bit. One other quick note before we get into the meat of the podcast here, the University of Hawaii football program. I just put this notice out earlier this morning. Again, we record this on Wednesday, May 10th. They're looking to fill a student team manager position. This is kind of basically for any full-time University of Hawaii Manoa student, looking for a student team manager who will assist with practices and home/away games, responsible for equipment and uniform setup and cleanup, as well as general clerical office work and record keeping. Again, applicants must be full-time UH Manoa students. And for inquiries, contact Brendan DeVee, I believe it is, the equipment manager there at the University of Hawaii. You can check out the UH social media accounts as well as the Hawaii Athletics website. They have all the contact information there. I think it's probably easier to find that than just kind of listening to us repeat that there. But a pretty cool opportunity, man. Obviously a chance to be part of the program. It's a lot of work, no doubt about it. These team managers, man, they do a lot of the thankless stuff. I don't know, if this is one of those deals where there's some financial aid involved or what that is. But if you're a student and you want to get involved, man, I definitely worth an inquiry. That's for sure. For a program that's got some exciting things going on.
Oh, totally. I think if you're listening to this and you're a student, it doesn't get much better than this coaching staff in terms of people that are just fun to be around, people you want to glean from, learn from, be like when you're older. It's not that we're biased or anything with being a University of Hawaii podcast right here, but I can speak from experience. I've been around this program now through 4 coaching regimes, and these guys are top tier. So if you're looking for a fun way to get involved literally into the football program and maybe learn some fun stuff, get some gear, get to travel with the team, can I apply, Jordan? Because man, this sounds like
You gotta re-enroll. We need you as a full-time student there. I don't know if you can just take like the bare minimum classes, maybe take some of the fun
audit
courses
a
on
couple of
campus.
them.
Yeah. Just get the full-time status back activated, and we can get your application in. I'm sure they're looking for somebody enthusiastic. You never know, right? Some of these opportunities are really terrific. You can learn a lot. Even if you're just looking to be part of the team. Heck, you never know what kind of comes out of it, right? Some of these guys that parlay this into some further opportunities in the professional world. It's obviously very much the exception to the rule, but you look at a guy like, Eric Spoelstra for the Miami Heat. Like, he started off as like an assistant film guy for the Heat and worked his way all the way up, right, to be head coach. Like, there are all these different paths, and a really cool opportunity. And I think, as you mentioned, a fun group of guys to be around, especially from the coaching staff. So pretty cool. So yeah, go check that out. Again, it's on all the Hawaii football social media accounts as well as on the website. And I'm going to imagine if you are still with us 89 episodes in, or even if you're new to the podcast, you probably know where to go find those handles and those accounts, wherever they may be. And if not, just drop us a comment on the thing, and we can link you there. On whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever else you find our episodes. And a good reminder before we head into the game time that Hawaii Football Now is brought to you by Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union. As Hawaii's largest credit union, they are committed to serving individuals and businesses through its 14 branch locations statewide and convenient digital banking services. As a leader in providing support for the islands, Hawaii USA is committed to strengthening Hawaii's financial wellness and sharing successes with members, local businesses, and the greater community. Visit hawaiiusafcu.com. All right, game time here. We mentioned the University of Hawaii volleyball program, and we get it. It's Hawaii football now. It's not Hawaii volleyball now. It's there in the title. But I think it's worth spending a little bit of time. We occasionally touch on other sports at the University of Hawaii, and I think in part because the athletic department is so interconnected. Right? It's not a big campus necessarily. It's not a gargantuan athletic program. They all sort of intersect with the facilities, the weight training. They're on lower campus as part of the athletics facilities, especially now with the way football's kind of set up, right? And basically everything being contained on campus, games included. But for the University of Hawaii men's volleyball program, Charlie Wade and his guys, what a magical run, right? Back to the national championship game, a thriller in 5 sets on Thursday to defeat Penn State in the Final Four, and then losing in 4 to UCLA. Boy, that UCLA team was something else, man. They were incredible. And I thought at portions of that match were just incredibly high level volleyball. But it sort of, I wouldn't say it caps a run, because hopefully this thing continues on, even though they're losing the likes of some all-timers, with Jakob Tella and Dimi Muklias and some of these other guys. But they're in a stretch where they've played in 4 straight national championship matches, right? Going back to 2019, you throw out the 2020 COVID year. They've won 2 of those, right? They were looking to become the first team in like 40 years or whatever it was since the 80s, to win 3 straight national championships. And so even in a sport that's, been dominated by certain programs, including UCLA, like that hasn't been done in a long, long time. And ultimately they didn't quite get to the three-peat. But they were 2 sets away, which is something else. But again, they're in a run of 4 straight national championships. They've won 2 trophies in that span, which I think at times we can almost take for granted because of how good and consistent this program has been. But for an athletic department, for a school the stature of the University of Hawaii on the athletic side, like it is incredible. Like this, I don't care what sport it is. It is incredible what they have done not only successfully on the court, what they've done in terms of drawing, right? The number of fans that they routinely bring in to the Stan Sheriff Center, the fact that they, multiple times a year when the big matches roll through are getting, 9, 10,000 plus, selling that place out at times. By far the best men's volleyball crowd in the country. You could argue, most places around the globe, even when you account for a lot of the professional teams in different parts of the world, and for them to capture the fan base, for them to capture the love of the community, how much people genuinely, I think, enjoy this program and the level that they have gotten to in terms of celebrity stardom, support, and everything that kind of goes along with it. I think, in part can boost every other program in the athletic department, right? I don't think this has to exist in a silo. I don't think it should, and I don't think it does exist, solely during men's volleyball season or anything like that. Like, I think, obviously we need to celebrate the success of this group, of this program, of this particular, class of guys that will be matriculating on out of here. But I guess my bigger question, right? And obviously we look at things through the football goggles every time we look through the football lens. It's like, how do you capture that? How do you, there was something magical about this team. There's been something magical about this program for quite a while now, going on 5 years, 4 seasons. And I guess, how do you kind of bottle that up? How do you parlay that into football season, right? Because volleyball season ends early May. Next thing you know, the next thing's up's football, right? To capture that momentum. How do you ride that wave? How does it parlay into other sports? But obviously, for the sake of our conversation, specifically to football. And it kind of got me wondering. I don't know if I got the answer or anything like that, but it kind of had me thinking, right? Like the amount of pride, the amount of chicken skin that kind of came from just being along for the ride, and obviously seeing them in a national championship match, which is just, incredible. Is there a way to kind of, ride the coattails a little bit, if you will? I don't know, just something I was thinking about, Hunter. I don't know if you've kind of had similar internal dialogues, or if you've kind of thought about things, and obviously having been an athlete there on that campus, how interconnected things are with the different sports programs.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's the question for University of Hawaii and all of our sports teams. I can't help but wonder how we are positioned as a school, a university, where volleyball thrives over here. And I don't want to say it's just a cultural thing, because there's plenty of other sports that Hawaii takes very, very seriously as a state. But it seems like we put more of an emphasis of an importance on men's and women's volleyball, maybe than what other schools might. And so I think that's why we can compete with the UCLAs, with the Penn States, with the Ohio States. It's not quite at the top of their, I don't know, maybe at the top of their importance level. Does that make sense? And so maybe that's where we're able to kind of find our niche, and we recruit really well internationally, really, really well internationally for this both men's and women's teams. And so we have great players, put them in great positions to be great, and they've been great for us. When I think about how University of Hawaii football is positioned, I think Timmy and this coaching staff is heading in the right direction with going after Polynesian football players. I think that in our DNA is just how we are branded. It's how we're positioned. That is Hawaii football's way of niching down and competing in something that we know that we can do. We know that we can give the Polynesian lifestyle. We're really one of the only teams to input Polynesian culture into the ethos of our team. It's what makes us us. Also, we have the Hawaiian Islands right here that's just goes hand in hand with our school. And so I think about that, Jordan, a little bit on because college, it's all about recruiting, right? It's all about getting the right people in the right places for them to be successful. And then in turn, we become successful. And so I think about that, where we're not going to be able to play the same 3-star, 4-star, 5-star recruiting battle like these other schools are with I don't want to go down the facilities and infrastructure and where we can't compete in that game, but there might be some other more creative roads and avenues that we might take. And I think this coaching staff is doing a fantastic job spreading this net literally all over the world, grabbing guys from places that maybe other schools don't care enough to check under those rocks or those nooks or those crannies to find those guys and hope that they can be assets for us.
Yeah, I think that's a great point and a parallel that I think could exist, much like the volleyball program, right? Because as you point out, like they've had so much success recruiting internationally as the men's volleyball program, and I think it's great. I think it kind of lends itself very much to the multicultural, diverse makeup of Hawaii, right? I think those guys feel right at home here, and for the football program, you've pointed it out. I think we've gotten that from some of the commenters as well. Like Al from VA always brings this up, right? Like recruit the heck out of Australia, recruit the heck out of Polynesia, and that includes New Zealand, right? Yeah. Samoa, which I think they're doing, right? Like that's something that has been a point of emphasis. And we have a little bit of an inherent, I don't know if advantage is the right word, but we have an inherent foot in the door, if you will, with those parts of the world being so intertwined with Hawaii, with Hawaii culture, and being able to do that. Getting the offensive lineman, I know via a junior college in the States, but an offensive lineman from England, like just go international. I think that's a big part of it there, and figuring things out. And I think the other aspect of it's got to be sort of, how do you get money out of all of this, right? Because you have to pay for things, you have to pay for facilities, you have to pay for everything. And I know it's kind of a dirty word to kind of walk down, but it's like, is there a way for the men's volleyball program, which is a little bit different, right? The number of scholarships is pretty manini when it comes down to it. The NIL money and whatnot. But is there a way, with the way that the volleyball program has been so successful, when you win, people want to support, right? When you have success, people want to support. And oftentimes that results in dollars, whether that's from businesses, whether that's from private donors, whether that's from, the state government that helps fund a lot of these programs. Like, is there a way to kind of capture that? And that's just kind of what I got to thinking, and how they can kind of piggyback off all of that. But yeah, the men's volleyball program, man, what an incredible job they have done of just, I think boosting the spirits of people in Hawaii, and hopefully the football program can kind of figure out how to bottle that up too.
I'd also like to point out, along with Laura Beeman, Charlie Wade is one of our longest standing coaches at University of Hawaii. There's a pattern there. There's a pattern of success. You have a good coach in good position. He doesn't want to be anywhere else. He's able to be here and thrive. Give Timmy 10 years and see what he can't do with our program. We've talked about it at length that one of the biggest issues for University of Hawaii is new coach every 3 or 4 years and having to scrap the whole thing and begin from ground zero. That is not a formula created for winning, Jordan. It's just not. So I think another little parallel right there is, if you find a good coach, find a way to keep him by any means necessary. Because look what Charlie Wade has done in the last 4 years. He's created a powerhouse over here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And, again, every time I kind of stop and think about it and really sort of consider, what they've been able to build and to go up. And I get that at the bigger programs like men's volleyball, somewhat of an afterthought and maybe doesn't get quite the resources of some of the other. But I mean, they beat Penn State and UCLA. Well, they beat UCLA in the regular season, but they beat Penn State and they went toe to toe with UCLA, like these gigantic powerhouse athletic departments that have all kinds of money, right? Big Ten money, even though I know neither of them exist in the Big Ten because the Big Ten doesn't sponsor men's volleyball, and UCLA will remain in the MPSF and whatnot. But to just go toe to toe with those schools, those brands, right across their uniform, and to have Hawaii be there as maybe the most consistent program over the last 5 years is quite it's quite remarkable. And again, football is a different animal. Just the sheer number of things that go into it logistically it's different. I get it. But I think what this football program, you can start to see some of the blueprint, right? The similar blueprint. Solidify things locally. Go ahead and recruit internationally. Try and build up support grassroots in a lot of ways. And like anything else, and Hawaii fans, as great as they are no different. When things are going well, when teams are winning, man, people get on board. And again, that's not to be critical or anything. I think that's just human nature, no matter where you go. And Hawaii's got some of the best fans around. Don't get me wrong. But as the diehards continue to come year in and year out, more people will show up as well. When and if they find success, and hopefully that keeps going this year.
Totally. And I think you can find that anywhere, Jordan. Alabama fans are Bama fans because they win all the time. It's just the way it goes. So I think if we put a couple of solid seasons together, sky's the limit for where this program could go.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll talk to one of the guys who is looking to maybe play a huge role in that success come next season. A guy who's coming off a great year as well. We'll have that conversation with Logan Taylor on the other side. All right, time for the halftime.
This is Hawaii Football Now from ESPN Honolulu.
All right, hey man, Logan, we really appreciate you jumping on the podcast here. You've become a guy, I think, that has become so much more well known to the fans around after getting the opportunity last year. And obviously looking forward to big things come this fall. Kind of talk us through the journey, man, as you've kind of worked your way through the program. You've kind of grinded to get to where you were last season, and then got an opportunity to play and kind of didn't relinquish it. But how would you kind of describe your journey to get to that point where you became a regular starter and one of the leading tacklers in the conference?
Yeah, so my journey here has been, it's been real special. I have I'm almost even more grateful to be able to, come up in the ranks. Not only, I don't think I'd be as grateful if I first got here and just started right away, So being a guy that was just, being just doing my job on special teams or whatever it was, being able to come up like that, how it was, even if my role was just being a spiritual leader, and how I had to humble myself and accept that, what, if this is what God has for me, then, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. So, it just shows, how God is good. I stayed humble through the hard times, when I wanted to play, but, stayed true to trusting his plan. And then, at the right time, it says, he will honor you when you stay humble. So, I just, I'm grateful that it happened this way, so, that I have a story to tell my kids. So I have a testimony to share. So, it's been a great journey. I'm glad I'm in this position I'm in right now. And, again, I'm just going to give it all to God, let him, direct my every step. And, that's the best part about it. I don't need to understand the plan. I could just give it to him and he could just lead me down the path,
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I think people would really enjoy kind of how you got about your business and gotten to this point. How are things going, man, with the off season? I know you guys have been putting in some work. We talked to Coach Cook just a couple of weeks ago. He kind of gave us the outline a little bit, but how's the off season training and really everything else gone for you?
Yeah, it's been going good. We've definitely been improving. Everyone's hitting PRs in the weight room, on the field, running faster. Something I'm real proud of is just like, the unity of the team and the maturity that's being built right now. We have a young team, but it's a lot more buy-in than it was last year. And just seeing the dudes, coming together saying, you know what, I need to I know I'm young, but I gotta play this year like it's my last year, And that means a lot to the guys like me who are seniors, who are gonna be dependent on the younger dudes, right? So, just seeing the maturity and the team bonding, everything coming together. Like I could just even from last year to now, it's like night and day where we've come so far. Special teams, offense, defense. So, this little off-season training right now has been a great thing to see, knowing that, to get big confidence builder as we prepare to get in the fall camp pretty soon. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
Logan, you mentioned just the transition from last year to this year. I don't think people quite understand how much shift and transition does go down with a coaching change.
Yeah.
Not just from schemes, but relationships from players to coaches. Talk about that a little bit from last year, this time to now. I mean, does it feel, more settled? Do you guys feel like you have a better idea of where you're headed, who you guys are? Maybe even some leadership stuff too within the team. I gotta feel like you guys are in such a better place right now.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like night and day. So, when the first coaching staff comes in, everything's new, right? The game plan, the scheme, the technique they want us to do. Even like you said, leadership. New people come in and they may see something in someone else who didn't really have the leadership role they have now. So leadership's different, but from last year, coming in, everything was new, right? And we're having to adjust to all the new game plan, everything like that. And to now, it's like now we're way more comfortable. Instead of just trying to figure out the scheme now we can really hone into the details, and that's what we've been doing this off season. And it's crazy how far we've come. Just being able to say, okay, we understand what's going on, we understand what you want. Now let's take a step. Let's get to another level. Let's fix the little things. Because that's the things that's really gonna count. And when it comes game time, but yeah, it's from, like I said, from last year to now, it's night and day. We got dudes buying in. We got more leaders on the team stepping up. Saying, hey, this is the standard. This is the standard. Let's go above that. And let's make that the standard. And the coaches have, they've instilled great, values and things into this team that, really get the guys going, knowing that, we got the whole island on our back. When we do good, the island does good. So it's real. What am I looking for? It's such a good time going on right now when everyone knows that we got something that we got to do. We got to go to Tennessee first game. And we seen what happened last year when new staff, we trying to just get the little wrinkles figured out. We not really knowing what we're doing, right? To now that we know what we're doing and we're confident, and we're confident going into this first game knowing that. So it's just day after day, just control we can control, get better every single day, and I think we'll be really good by the time game time comes.
Yeah, it's so many unanswered questions, right? Whenever the whole world is kind of dropped on you with new and change and unsureness. It's really encouraging to hear that from a former player, bro. Just to hear that that's where the program is at right now. Like, I couldn't make me any happier. I wanted to get into just one thing that, if you've had the chance, I'm talking to the people listening at home, had a chance to come to a practice, you've heard this guy before. You've heard 16 jarring it out on the other side of the football, man. Like, he gets after people. And one thing I wanted to bring up was you kind of getting after Braden Shager a little bit during this spring, bro. And what was encouraging was he was throwing it back, bro. Like, I've been wanting to see that from him, and I wanted to say thank you for kind of calling that out of 13 a little bit, bro.
Yeah. No, that that's our leader, right? We gonna go as far as he takes us. So we know that, hey, dude, you got to be the leader, and he stepped up a big way, and even just like you were saying, just chipping back and getting after it, we need to practice like we're playing our opponent, right?
Totally.
If we're just practicing like we're playing each other every day, it's we're not gonna get nowhere. So yeah, I like to make it. That's just how I like to play too. I'm just trying to be me every day. So if that's how it comes, and he's taking it like that, I hope he chirps back, and that's exactly what he did. So that's exactly what we need. We need our leader to be, hey, he's not gonna take nothing from nobody. So we were good. We were happy to see that. We even talked one-on-one, like, man, like, I'm gonna keep coming after you, bro. Like, just keep coming back. Let's keep fighting. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I love that, the competitive fire. Speaking of spring practice, how would you sort of assess the growth of yourself, of maybe that defensive unit in particular? What would you kind of feel that you guys got out of the spring session?
Spring session was real good for us, to especially spring ball being early. It wasn't that much of a break coming from the last game. So picking up right where we left. We got like I said, last year was first year. We kind of got going at the end of the season, getting real comfortable in the scheme and everything. So, for spring ball to be able to, really lock in and perfect our craft when it comes to the scheme, so it comes to the details that come within the scheme. And that's being with the new players, and it's crazy because, the guys we got real mature on the defensive end, real mature, easy to can pick up the game plan quick, excelled in it. And, it's good to see, our back end, we got a lot more speed. We got, to play a lot more man covers, whatever it may be. But, our D line, getting after it every day, the LBs, our coach CB is going to make us get after it every single day. The little things, the feet, the technique, it's never good enough. And, that's what we really appreciate about these coaches, it's never just, hey, like, man, hey, you guys are doing good. It's like, hey, you guys can do better, and that was every day. So, we definitely came a long way with things that we wanted to do last year that we weren't ready for. And, being able to instill those things and get comfortable with those so that we have more in our pocket, more tools to use during the season. So it was a good spring ball, and happy of the outcome of, what happened.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You mentioned Coach Chris Brown, linebackers coach. What is that dynamic been like? What has he kind of brought out of you?
That man has changed my life. If being honest, he just before, like, it was, this whole game is real. Is the majority of this game is mental, right? If your mental's not right, you're not gonna perform no matter what. You could be the best, most freak athlete. If your mental's all over the place, you're not gonna do well. And he really brought out of me, like, like, he really understood. He was like, I see something in you that I don't see everywhere else. And he really took the time with me to be able to, hey, you got something that you can't teach, but your feet are horrible. Your whatever is so bad, but that's things that we can fix. And him spending the time with me, really being able to, like I said, it's never good enough. And he kept working with me to be able to, because coming from safety to linebacker, I wasn't real used to the feet work and, reading the line schemes and all that. But he really took the time to just sit down with me and explain everything. And the biggest thing that he's done for me is that, he believed in me. When no one else did, he really believed in me. And, he would make that known. And that was the thing that fired me up. And that was like, I knew this whole time, but him reassuring me and giving me the confidence that I needed was a big boost in the way I played, the confidence that I was able to have. And the crazy thing is like, it's not just with me. He does that with from the starters to the last string, and he does it with he's not discriminating. He's doing that with every last person. And it's just like, when I look at him, it's like, hey, if I ever got a coach, I want to be just like him. The way he is the way he cares about us too. It's not just the, hey, like, I need you to perform. Like, he really truly cares about us off the field. How our families, everything that's going on. And it's been a big inspiration to me just to see how he can carries himself and how he leads this group. So, like I said, he changed my life, man. It's been great to be around him.
And you're trying to have arms like him one day too, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see though. You might need a little something, but
bro, I'm with you, man. Hey, I wanted to jump on Team Logan Taylor just for a second, bro, because not everyone believed in you when you first got here, man. You made them believe in you. And speaking as someone who had to get people to believe in me as well, I kind of occupied a similar role as kind of the spiritual leader of the team whenever I was there. And yeah. Bro, you balled out when they gave you an opportunity, bro. And like the second half of the season, to see what you were able to accomplish, bro, like, I tip my cap to you, bro. Like, you really were only given opportunity on special teams and then jumped in there when some injuries happened on defense. And now you're the heart and soul of our team, bro. Like, as much as like coaches will say like they believed in you, I wanted to just speak from player to player. You earned that, bro. You earned it.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that means a lot. But like that whole, like, I can't even just give myself the praise because I know what it really was from.
Sure.
It was that moment that I was like, I always said, you know what, even if I'm the backup, I'm gonna be the best backup I could be. I'm gonna prepare like I'm the starter every day, because like everything I'm doing, I'm trying to please the Lord with. So when it was my chance to go on the scene, to be able to start my first game,
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was like, you know what? I don't know. Like, am I ready for this? I've never been able to start it. This is my first start being here for however many years, 3 years. And, I really chose to rely on God in that moment and say, you know what, God, I believe that you can do the unimaginable. And I believe that you can move mountains, you can calm the seas. And I said, God, you know what? I believe, and I'm not going to doubt. So, I chose to not limit God's power. And I said, God, let me see you do the unimaginable in my life. And I truly believe, and I truly cried out to him and was 1,000% dependent on him. And to see how he did just that first game when I truly needed him, didn't know, like all the eyes on me, God, I'm nervous, I'm scared. And for him to, say, I can do the unimaginable and I will, because you believed and you're faithful. And to see that first game, 16 tackles, player of the game, like, that was just a testament to God, that God is real, God is powerful. He can do anything to those, and, when you ask these things, you got to believe, because those who don't believe should expect nothing, and so for him to do that in my life and be able to do that, and that just set the tone for the rest of the season. I said, God, you were faithful before, you're going to be faithful again. And I'm going to keep not limiting your powers. God, give me the strength, give me the confidence, give me the edge I need. And, week in and week out, he gave me the strength I needed. And, so it like I said, like, I would love to say, you know what, I grinded for this. I prepared like nobody, but really, if I'm being honest, it was truly just God just maneuvering and God working, giving me the strength I needed.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, man, you got me ready to run through a brick wall right now, bro. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of the mentality of a lot of guys, especially coming from JUCO. They get that kind of lone wolf mentality on the world is against me. It's all on me. It's all for me and my family. Like, I don't get that from you at all, bro. Like, I see that humility. Like, you stay in that in that kind of avenue, bro. Like, you're gonna have a lot of success come to you down the road. But kind of wanted to shift gears a little bit towards this season.
Yeah.
In the interest of hope and kind of what you're dreaming about, what would be your goals for this season? Like, first, personally, and then two, for the team. What are you guys kind of dreaming about as a squad right now?
Personally, my goals for this season is, I would love to break the, single season tackle record by Jeff Ulbrich. I think it was 169. And so, I would, that's my goal. I want to break that. I want to, create turnovers. I want to, I just want to help the team, because, the tackles are great, but, what's changing the game is the turnovers, so, I would love to just increase my turnovers, be more like, intentional with every play, because I know, I'm time's going fast, and, I'm trying to cherish everything. So I'm trying to cherish every play, be intentional, get that ball out, whatever it is. But, I love to be an All-American. I love to go first team, All Mountain West. So that's what I'm striving for. That's individually striving to do that. And just to be just to continue to, be the spiritual leader of this team, even though, my role is bigger, help me to just, I want to not change. I want to be the same dude. I want to lead people to Christ. I want to lead this team and to find the strength that we need to be successful. And, so that's individually my goals. So for the squad, we're trying to win this championship first and foremost. We want to go in and surprise the world with these first few games. And then we want to go and win the Mountain West Championship. We want to go to a bowl game. We want to win. We want to make sure that, Coach Chang is set and he got a place to stay, and, we want to do this for the people of Hawaii, and, man, we got a big load on our back, but, we're preparing for it, and, we're excited and we're blessed. So, we want to go win that Mountain West Championship for sure.
This might be a far out question, but hang with me just for a second. You guys definitely have this kind of chip on your shoulder, underdog mentality. We're going to grind no matter what. I wondered, I'm always curious what it's like in the locker room right now with all the stuff going down with facilities right now. Like for those that don't know, the gym is closed. You guys are lifting over at Clum Gym right now. In the heat, kind of in the sauna in there.
Yeah.
And then even the construction going down at TC Ching Complex, all the nonsense with Aloha Stadium. You guys use that as like, hey, we don't need any of that to go out there and be successful. Do you use that as a rallying cry?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, to be honest, we're not worried about none of that. We're like, you know what? They put us in Plum, you know what? Hey, more space, you know, we may go shoot some hoops after we get done lifting or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? We're blessed regardless of the circumstances. Regardless if they put any more seats up in them stands, we're gonna go out there and play like we're playing in front of, Michigan again. And so that means, I could just tell you from the team that has nothing to do with, we're not worried about none of that. We're trying to become the best that we can be. I mean, honestly, I like the Clum gym maybe more than other gym. The heat's good, get me sweating a little bit, get more cut, whatever it is. And I like the space in there. We need to go do some drills on the side after, someone's using the field, we can just stand in there or whatever. So, we're grateful with everything we got. We're grateful, man. If we never see that weight room done while I'm here, it's good, as long as it's done by the time our kids get here. So but yeah, so we're not worried about nothing but the goal at hand. So, all the little things going on around us, it's like, personally, I'm pretty sure this is what the team's feeling. That's not even a care right now, So as long as they let us practice on that field, we good.
Yeah, man, I think there's a lot of excitement about this group that's got people very excited for the season. Logan, we really appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking some time out. We'll let you out of there on that one, and we'll be sure to check in before the season starts, and we'll see you down there. We'll see you at Clum, I'm sure. Yes, thanks a lot, man. We really appreciate it.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity.
Okay. Anytime.
All right. See you guys.
All right, big thanks to Logan there. My man is all in, right? And I think you can see that, and from his journey, from Southern Utah to JUCO to Hawaii to multiple coaching staffs, like he's had a long road. And boy, does he have quite the perspective on kind of how he's gotten here. It was really cool to kind of hear him talk about, what's led him to this point. And the dude's no doubt one of the leaders on the team. And I like that he's bringing a little fire out of Braden Shager, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I really enjoyed it. And I know you've been one of his big believers for a while now, Hunter.
Yeah, it's there's a big difference in college football for those that can walk the walk and then those that can talk the talk. And he was someone who was actually pretty quiet until he proved it on the field, and then the voice came afterwards. And at that level of athletics, they won't give you the time of day unless you prove it on the field, and he certainly has. So I'm stoked for him in kind of more of a solid role as a starter heading to this season. Unquestionably one of the leaders of our team, and man, with guys like him out there, I feel good about this program, man. It's fun to be around.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. All right, that'll do it for us. Quick little 2-minute drill to head us on up out of here. Did want to make a mention that per Steven Tsai, I saw that he tweeted out that the nephew of former Hawaii football D lineman Amani and Melilia Mel Purcell, Julius Purcell Telefoni of Samoana High School down there in Samoa has accepted a 2026 scholarship offer. So he's a guy a couple of years down the road, but kind of fits our theme what we were talking about. Getting these guys in, man. They got to recruit Samoa well. They got to recruit the rest of the South Pacific well. Like I like that. I like that. And a whole lot of other tidbits and whatnot that we'll get into next week's episode as well. But always encouraging you get some of these guys to commit early, especially dudes with ties to the program. Big stuff there. So just wanted to mention that on the way out here. But big thanks to Logan. And we'll give you the final thought here, Hunter, before we head out.
Man, I'm going to read kind of what you wrote on 2-minute drill, because Coach Pu'u is officially back with Hawaii football, our boy, JPR. I think with him getting the DN coach, we might need to get him on here for second round. Jordan, what do you think?
We will. We absolutely will. That is something that we'll be working on throughout the summer. Because we can't just let them quietly slide back in.
No way.
It's got, yeah, not at all. Pretty cool stuff. We'll expand on that next week as well. Next week, episode 90 coming your way. We're getting closer and closer to 100, man. It's kind of crazy. All right. Big thanks to our guy Jonathan on the controls. Big thanks to Spectrum Mobile and Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union as well. Mahalos to you, Hunter, and as always, shout out to Logan Taylor, our guy, jumping on the podcast this week. We'll see you next week, everybody, right here on Hawaii Football Now.
You've been listening to Hawaii Football Now with Jordan Helly and Hunter Hughes, all from ESPN Honolulu.